Good morning, beloveds. It's Sunday, and an exciting day yesterday. Uh, with and so I'm a little stiff today. I also finished my outline for my talk today, or I finished it yesterday. I finished the outline yesterday for the talk today, and I needed to print it. My printer's probably 10 years old. My computer is about a month. My new computer will not talk to my old printer. And I was like, oh God, no, what are my options? And it had hit that point. I was too tired to deal with it last night. So I was like, fine, I'm going to go to bed. I'm not going to worry about it because I have options. Among them being I could email the talk to one of the two people who probably have printers that talk to their computers. And ask them to print it, bring it with me. Or I could just take my computer and do it from that. Or, I was like, I'll deal with it in the morning. So I woke up this morning and then it occurred to me, wait, I have an old computer that will still talk to the old printer. And I could just email the talk to myself. So that's what I did. It's like there are options, and sometimes when you are just at the end of your rope, you just need a reset, and the best way to do that is to go to sleep. I mean, that's literally the human version of turning it off and on again. So I went to bed, I woke up, and I went, oh, I can do this. So that is what I did. It's just been, Oh, so that's my morning. That's my morning. And I hope that you go to bed occasionally and wake up with exactly the solution that you need. Turn it off and turn it on again. Take a nap, go for a walk, go to sleep, get a good night's sleep. It's a good way to figure things out when you just hit that roadblock. All right, it is January 24th. Our title is I Accept My Individuality. And our Bible quote is, now there are diversities of gifts, but the same Spirit. And there are differences of administrations, but the same Lord. And that is 1 Corinthians 12, 4 and 5. It is right and necessary that we should be individuals. If two people were exactly alike, one would be unnecessary in the scheme of things. Emerson said that imitation is suicide. The divine spirit never made any two things alike. No two rose bushes, no two snowflakes, 2 grains of sand, nor 2 persons. We are all just a little unique. For each wears a different face, but behind each is the one presence, God. Unity does not mean uniformity. Unity means that everything draws its strength, its power, and its ability to live from one source. One life does flow through everything. But this life is never monotonous. It is forever doing new things in you and in me. I affirm that I, too, am of this original spirit, and that it is doing something new through me today. Therefore, everything I do is original. It is a new creation. There is a new enthusiasm and new zest for life. Even the old songs I sing are different because of a renewed influx coming from the maker of all music. The divine spirit is flowing through me in an individual way, and I accept the genius of my own being. Since the original artist is doing something new through me today, I do not imitate others. Each is a king in his own right. Each is a divine being on the path of the eternal unfoldment. Gladly, I recognize and unite with the genius in others, but always keep the uniqueness of my own personality. All the presence there is flowing through me is in an original manner. All the presence there is all the presence there is flowing through me. I'm missing a word there. I invite the inspiration, the illumination, and the guidance of God and gladly cooperate with them. Alrighty then. I accept my individuality. I think that's one of the things that people come to us and go, wait, we're all coming from the same stuff. We're all made of the same stuff. How are we not all, if we're all one, how are we not all the same? Because that would be boring. And spirit is not boring. If you have any experience at all with spirit, you know spirit is not boring. And I thought that was interesting because he talks about singing old songs with new energy, and he talked about imitation. He quoted Emerson: "Imitation is suicide. Imitation is this most sincere form of flattery." And I do this thing, we call it cosplaying, where you dress up as your favorite character. But there are people, I'll give you an example, the 501st Legion. If you haven't looked them up, they're fascinating, especially if you love Star Wars. And they require you, when you do their costumes, the Star Wars costumes, to join the 501st Legion, to be movie accurate, meaning down to the detail. But you're still allowed to put your own spin on it, how you play the character. And that's the wonder and the beauty of cosplay, is when you dress up as these characters, you put your own spin on it. And it creates this amazing and wonderful diversity. And outside of a few, we call them gatekeepers, and not in a flattering way, we celebrate the amazing ways that we have interpreted these characters. And that's really what we're doing here right now, is we are interpreting the characters. We are each our own character, and we are all an interpretation of one character. We are all an interpretation of the divine, and we get to put our own spin on it. And that's pretty amazing. And we get to be celebrated for it. So, now there are diversities of gifts, but the same Spirit. And there are differences of administrations, but the same Lord. Okay, so that's from Corinthians. That means that there are diversities of gifts, but the same Spirit. That was in the Bible. Ernest didn't make that up. He got it from a pretty amazing source. So, right there. If you ever question whether Ernest made that up, now you know. Ernest doesn't claim to be revealed. He never said, "The Lord came to me and told me this." What Ernest did was he pulled it together from all of the readings that he did. And he said, wait, I keep seeing this over and over and again. And not just in this one, but I also see it in this one. And so we're onto something here. And that is one of the truly amazing things about Ernest, is he picked out that golden thread that runs through sacred literature around the world. It is right and necessary that we should be individuals. Life would be boring if we weren't. If two persons were exactly alike, one would be unnecessary in the scheme of things. And that even when you're dealing with identical twins, they're not the same person. They have their own thoughts, their own feelings, they do their own things. Sometimes they do go out of their way to do exactly alike, but still. You can talk to parents, and apparently there is a point that parents, even when their twins are trying to fool them, there are little things about them that show who they, which twin they're dealing with. Emerson said that imitation is suicide. The divine spirit never made any two things alike. No two rose bushes, no two snowflakes, 2 grains of sands, nor 2 persons. We are all just a little unique. It's like, I'm unique, just like everybody else. So we're all just a little unique, we're all just a little unique, for each wears a different face, but behind each is the one presence. We all come from the same source. We all share the same soul. We have just individualized our little part of that soul. So behind each is the one presence, God. Unity does not mean uniformity. Unity means that everything draws its strength, its power, and its ability to live from one source. It's like we all came from the same source. We'll all go back to the same source. We all draw from it all the time. It's the same. We all get our creativity, our zest, everything for life from the same source. But what we do with it is what makes it amazing. One life does flow through everything, but this life is never monotonous. It is forever doing new things in you and in me. I mean, just look around in spring. Just look around and see, or actually any season, but we're in the middle of winter right now, so when spring comes and all of the new plants start shooting up, and you see this wild variety of color and this wild variety of scents, and some plants stay low to the ground and some plants get really big, they're taller than us. That's spirit. Why would we want people to be any different than that? We don't, because it makes for a much more interesting world. We just recognize that we all have the same source. That we are all truly brothers and sisters. We're family. We have the same source. I affirm that I, too, am of this original spirit, and that it is doing something new through me today. Therefore, everything I do is original. It is a new creation. Every day is a new day. Every day is a new creation. And if yesterday wasn't exactly what you hoped it was, when you turn yourself off and turn yourself back on in the morning, it's a new day. It's an original day. It's a chance to start again. Or it's a chance to progress on what you've already worked on. And create something new to add to what you've already done. There's a new enthusiasm, a new zest for life. Even the old songs I sing are different because of a renewed influx coming from the maker of all music. That's one of those things. I love music. And cover songs, they can be interesting. Especially when you've got somebody who's covering a song that they love. They didn't write it, but and you can tell the difference when somebody loves the song, when an artist loves the song versus when they think that they're just going to make a lot of money. Because they inject a new life into a song that you already knew and you loved. Okay, so Simon and Garfunkel wrote a song called The Sound of Silence. And it has been covered and covered and covered and covered. And there are a whole lot of people who absolutely, and they've done beautiful covers. And then there are some that you're like, really? And then every now and again somebody will do some genre splitting, because this Simon and Garfunkel are folk music. And then there was I'm going to use the term death metal screamy band, which is not a technical term, but, and they're actually a really amazing band, but it's a band called Disturbed. And they truly love this song, and they covered it in their style of, I'm not going to say screamy metal, although that guy can wail, but they covered it. And they injected new life into a song that's already well beloved. And the original maker of the song actually came out and went, you know what? Of all the covers I've heard, I like this one the best. And Trent Reznor did the same thing. Trent Reznor put out a song called Hurt. And then Johnny Cash covered it. Johnny Cash covered it. And when he covered it, Trent Reznor went, I'm never going to sing that song again because Johnny Cash did so much better of a job than I did. So that's the new energy, the renewed. I sing different because of a renewed influx coming from the Make All music. Now that's actually literally music, but that's what we get to do. If we step into a role that has already been done before, we influx new energy into it and make it our own. And that is what we get to do with this life. We get to put new energy into it and make it our own. And we can do that right here, right now, and not change anything other than the energy that we're walking through the world with. Or we can pick up and move across the country. You know? And start everything over. Either way, but it's that we are making this life unique, but taking that energy, that influx of energy from the same source. Unity is not uniformity. Unity is recognizing we all use the same power to create the beautiful uniqueness that we see around us all the time. The divine spirit is flowing through me in an individual way. I accept the genius of my own being. Since the original artist is doing something new through me today, I do not imitate others. Stretch out your own wings. Take the lessons that you have learned from others and do it in a new way. Do it in your way. I'm not saying you have to reinvent the wheel. All I'm saying is do it in your own style. Use that wheel in your own style. Each is a king or a queen. If you want to be a queen, go for it. In his or her own right. Each is a divine being on the pathway of an eternal unfoldment. Gladly, I recognize and unite with the genius of others. And so I accept the genius of my own being, but I also recognize that everybody around me is a genius and that when we unite, we can make something really amazing. So I can do it on my own, or I can unite with others. And with others, each of us, our own genius, our own uniqueness is going to create something amazing. But always keep the uniqueness of my own personality. Put your own flair in whatever group project you're doing. All the presence there is flowing through me is in an original manner. I invite the inspiration, the illumination, and the guidance of God and gladly cooperate with them. Okay, so I am going to ask you, your mission today, should you choose to accept it, is to accept the genius of your own being. That's a big one. Accept the genius of your own being. And unite with the genius of other beings. Accept the genius of their own beings. And accept that together or alone, we create amazing things. because we are all drawing from that one source. We draw our strength, our power, and our ability from that one source that we call God, or Spirit, or Atman, or Goddess, or Mother, or Father, or there are a myriad of names. The Horned One, Bridget, Buddha. So, Allah, it means the Father. Yeah, it's all the same source. Just a different name. A different name for the same face. And this face has that face back of it. And that face that you're looking at in your mirror has the same genius behind it. So let it flow. As I like to say occasionally, unkink that hose and let it flow. All right. Seeing as how I'm the one doing the service today, I probably need to go and get my act together and eat something. I don't want to do a talk on an empty stomach. And I'm going to encourage you, as I always do, to do something loving for yourself, do something kind for yourself, do something compassionate for yourself every day. You are a unique and beautiful individual. And you deserve loving, kind, and compassionate, especially from yourself. Always. I also encourage you to do something to engage your mind and your body. It's a bit drippy out there. We may or may not see the sun. You never know with the weather around here. But if you do get to see the sun, take advantage of it and get some sunlight on your face. Drink plenty of water. But do what you need to do, to take care of yourself. And if that means resting, that means resting. But recognize that you draw from an inexhaustible source of love, of strength, of power, of presence. And it's just waiting for you to ask. So, get some fresh air and allow that fresh air to get you some fresh perspective. And open the windows of your soul. Allow the breath of heaven to remind you that you live in heaven now with all of the godlings around you. And that it is our job and responsibility and pleasure to reveal that kingdom of heaven through us to everyone around us. It is our right, it is our responsibility, it is our joy to do that. Because we are beloved children of God, in whom God is well pleased always. Because the God that I know doesn't judge. And the God that surrounds you doesn't judge. Because we are not outside of that. We live and move and have our being within that being. So, I ask you, encourage you, implore you to do what you need to do to have a wonderful, loving, kind, compassionate day. And know that we will be back with you at 11 a.m. on Facebook Live with a pretty amazing service. I understand Mary Radspinner will be back. We've been having a whole lot of fun with Mary Radspinner. And Jeffrey and Mary are an amazing team to watch the two of them play together. So that's all I know about the music for today. And I know a lot about the talk, but I'm not going to spoil it for you. You'll just have to tune in at 11 to see what that's about. And Danielle and Reverend Jesse will be there. I'm not sure who's going to do what, but they'll both be there. So tune in, check us out, and then Reverend David will be on with you around 5, and I will be back with you at 9 a.m. tomorrow. All right, beloveds, have a wonderful day.